Hey everybody, here's our daily meditation for the 5th of August. Our verse for today comes from James 5:11, which states, "Behold, we consider those blessed who remain steadfast. You have heard of the steadfastness of Job. You have seen the purpose of the Lord, how the Lord is compassionate and merciful." You can't help but notice that the theme of enduring trials occurs throughout the book of James. In this section from verse 7 through 12, the attention turns to a call to patient endurance and to trust in God to vindicate his people. James, here in verse 11, speaks of the steadfastness of God's people alongside the purpose of the Lord, with the accent here being on his compassion and mercy. When we feel deeply afflicted, it's hard for us to believe that God is tenderly involved in our lives. We feel as though perhaps God has forsaken us, or worse still, is punishing us for some mistake we've made. I think that's why the writer calls to mind the story of Job. Remember that Job, as he was enduring the pain and sorrow of his lengthy ordeal, felt as if he had been utterly forsaken by God. Yet, by faith, he still trusted in God. He relied on God's good purposes, even in the midst of personal pain, loss, and anguish. It's as if James is saying that Job is someone who we can all relate to, as we all must exercise faith in the midst of difficulty. This is, of course, a difficult exercise, because it means living by faith, often regardless of our personal and present circumstances. It means trusting God and patiently waiting for him to fulfill his perfect and merciful purposes for us. It means intentionally remembering God's heart even when we can't perceive his hand. It means tenaciously holding to a heavenly and eternal perspective rather than seeking satisfaction and fulfillment here and now. Job's example is not one of perfection, but it should remind us that even when grief or turmoil hide the face of God from us, we can know that he's still working tenderly toward our sanctification and glory, because his purpose is compassion and mercy. For that reason, James declares that we count them happy who endure. Those who by God's very grace steadfastly endure the trials God sends their way are, in the end, the most blessed people on earth. Their lives have brought glory to God. Their testimony has pointed to eternity, and their faithfulness has reminded us of God's goodness. Shall we be numbered among such people? I trust so. God bless.